Good evening, everyone. We are live. Yay. Tuesday Night Live, and I am back. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you this evening. If you would be so kind as to type your name down in the chat and or where you're from, where you're viewing from this evening. Hello, everyone. Hello. There we go. Yes. I can see you. Can you hear me? Am I good? Good. Okay. Get the hair together here. I know it should already be together, but that's okay. That's okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Whew. It's good to be back live. I have just gotten back from a cruise, right? Right. Well, I do cruising more than any other type of travel, although I like almost all kinds of travel. But we just got back from our cruise this past Saturday. I'm going to tell you all about it. One of the headlines that I put is the incident that happened to me at the Chabang Specialty Restaurant. I'm trying to tell you, that was something else. Let me see if I can see my chat. Yes. All right. Sometimes, I don't know how it'll work tonight, but sometimes I can see my chat, sometimes I cannot. But that's okay. We're going to get through this together. I really do appreciate and thank you for being here for Tuesday Night Live. I love the support that I get from you. It's because of my fans. It's because of people who enjoy the show, who watch the show, who gives me likes and thumbs ups and give me questions that I can continue to do this. So I thank you so much. We are really looking to grow. I'm looking to have 10,000 subscribers no later than the end of this year. And of course, before the end of this year is even better. So I'm going to keep honing my skills and doing things better. And you keep watching and bring some friends along. All right. So I want to talk to you tonight about our cruise that we just got back from and the crazy cruise news that's been going on. While I was on the ship, I only got Wi-Fi one day. I don't pay for the Wi-Fi every day most of the times. I got Wi-Fi one day and I looked at the news and I was like, why did I get this? You know, it was terrible what was going on and this was going on. But then I looked into the cruise news and I was like, man, it's never a dull moment in cruising, excuse me. And I also want to tell you about our Carnival Jubilee cruise. This was a long time coming. We had scheduled the Carnival Jubilee before it ever was even built. I had looked it up, found out that a brand new cruise ship straight off the bat was coming to Galveston for the first time in forever. And I immediately got myself and my family on that cruise. And I got a smoking hot deal. Let me tell you how smoking hot this deal was. I had called like Carnival to inquire about the cruise as it got closer. And the person who was helping me with it, he said to me, how'd you get this price? So when the Carnival Vacation Club member, or whatever they're called, asks you how you got that price, you know your deal is smoking hot. But as many of you know, that cruise was canceled. It happens with brand new ships. They decide they're going to bring it out on one day, but delays happen and it doesn't come out till another time. So that's exactly what happened. And it was delayed and I had a group cruise scheduled and my family was going and I was so disappointed. And because of the way life is and the way things happen, I couldn't get on that ship again yet until just recently. So this was a long time coming. The funny thing is when the ship did come to Galveston, I drove myself down there and I videoed the whole thing. Her first coming into port, it was emotional. No, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. Ship spotting, kind of nerd out on that. It was a lot of fun. But we boarded the Carnival Jubilee on September 6th. I think that's right. If you were on the Carnival Jubilee on September 6th, chime in down below. I would love to know. Give me some comments. Let me know. And if you've ever been on the Jubilee, please tell me your thoughts. I want to know what you think. I know what a lot of people think. I even know what the people think who were with me. But if you have been on the Jubilee, chime in. All right, so we finally got on the Jubilee and something incredible happened to me on the Jubilee. And I thought, Lord, I knew I wasn't being punked, but I was like, what is going on? I could not believe this happened to me. And when I tell you about it, I want to know if you would have done different, because even the people sitting next to us, the new friends that we met, said, oh, honey, you're taking this so well. I want to know if you would have done the same thing that I did, or you would have reacted differently. All right. But first, let's get into some crazy cruise news. This story in particular, and I have it pulled up here because I want to read it. This happened when I was on the cruise, and I saw the headlines and I thought, you can't make this stuff up. Okay. Here's the headline. It says, man arrested after jumping off a cruise ship to avoid a $16,000 gambling debt. That is one way to avoid the debt. Come on. I was in the casino too. Sometimes you lose, but you don't jump off the ship. Let me read this story to you. And if you've heard about it, what are your thoughts? Okay, this is craziness. Let me read it. A man who jumped off a cruise ship to avoid paying a huge gambling debt has been charged with a federal crime. So now, yeah, he's going to pay more than the gambling debt now. Okay, J. Gonzalez Diaz, a guest on a Royal Caribbean cruise, disembarked the ship over the weekend to avoid paying off of $16,000 gambling debt. And this was like 2 weekends ago, right? Okay. The man jumped ship near the port of San Juan in Puerto Rico. And this was aboard the Rhapsody of the Seas. Let's see. He made the leap during a U.S. Customs and Border Protection inspection. So at least the ship was docked. It wasn't out at sea, but he still jumped off the ship instead of paying. Surveillance videos show Gonzalez Diaz then being taken to shore by someone riding a jet ski nearby. So he jumped off the ship in Puerto Rico to avoid the debt, and a jet skier was like, oh, look, a man in the ocean, and picked him up and took him back to shore. So let me tell you what happened next. The man was later found by Border Patrol offices near Puerto Rico. He had 5 IDs, 2 cell phones, and $14,600. So with the money that he had in his wallet, he could have almost paid the debt. Anyway, 5 IDs, 2 cell phones, and $14,600. Gonzalez Diaz has been accused of attempting to evade monetary reporting requirements when entering the U.S. per the report. Okay. You never know what's going through somebody's mind, what they have on their mind that makes them do the things that they do. So I'm going to stop laughing. I'm sorry. I just found this nearly unbelievable. Yeah, the man who was booked under the name Jeremy Diaz told officials he jumped ship because he didn't want to be taxed for bringing the money in. That's what he said. His true identity and a gambling debt of $16,710.24 owed to the cruise line was revealed by investigators. He was later released on bail and now faces a fine of up to $250,000, a lot more than that initial amount. It said in another article that I read that when law enforcement captured him and they found the 5 different IDs on him and the cell phones, they asked him, well, what is your name? What's your real name? And his response was something like, well, you're law enforcement. Isn't that your job to find out? Zing. I don't know. He's spicy with the police. I don't know. That was wild. What do you think? I think it was wild. That's what I think. Let me see. If you are giving me comments and I don't see them, forgive me. I'm going to come back and make sure to answer all of them. I thought that was crazy. That's not what we do when we overdo it in the casino. Stay out of the casino if you think you got to jump ship. And yes, if you make over a hand pay, which is $1,200 in the U.S., you're going to have to pay some taxes on it. So be prepared, right? The good news is if you actually have to pay taxes, that means you won big money. $1,200. I've never won that much, so there you go. All right, that is the first cruise news story that I want to tell you about. Let me tell you a little bit about our trip. Let me tell you about the hotel we stayed at. Dun, dun, dun. I will never stay at that hotel again. The saying you get what you pay for is correct. All right. We found this very inexpensive hotel in Galveston to stay in. And I know I'm a travel advisor. I know I know, I know, I know. But we did it anyway. We booked this very inexpensive hotel, more of a motel kind of thing. And we thought, okay, it said it had a free breakfast. You could park your car there for $20 for the entire week. And the room, $167 plus tax. Okay, what could go wrong? The hotel was very old. Check out my video. I have a video showing our pre-cruise hotel for this cruise trip. And so if you've seen the hotel, you already know the dun, dun, dun. I'm telling you. The hotel was old. My mom said it smelled moldy and mildew. I didn't necessarily smell that, but I know, I saw the furnishings looked like something out of the 70s. It just wasn't updated. The breakfast was very minimal. And you know, come on, we're about to get on a cruise ship and eat whatever we wanted for the next 7 days. I was cool with that. The parking was in Galveston, you know, they have the houses raised, lifted. It's a beach community. So you park your car underneath the hotel. Yeah, you know, say what you want. So it's partially covered, $21.76 for the entire week. So we like that. What I did not like is when I went into the bathroom, I got up early in the morning, I had to go to the bathroom, and there was a cockroach doing this, looking at me like this. Ooh, I know some people, they don't mind that. They're like, what's the big, kill it, move on with life. I'm not one of those people. No to bugs, just say no. Bugs have a place in life and they're outside my door. They're outside my hotel. They're outside. Go outside. Something I read said they have the whole outside. Why are they in here? Okay. And at 2 something, 3 something in the morning, I was not mentally prepared to fight with a critter. So I was thoroughly disgusted, and then I was completely awake at that time of the morning. So I will never, never, never go back there, and I will never recommend it to anybody who books travel through me. I don't care what the price is. So a lesson in getting what you pay for, I knew. So there you go. I'm not going to say the name of the hotel here on the live, but as I stated, go check out my video and you'll see the name of it. Let me know, have you ever stayed there? If you have, was there any problem? I watched a bunch of video, well, not a bunch. I watched a video about the hotel from a couple who stayed there, and it seemed really cool. They have this putt-putt. It's not putt-putt. Okay, let me say it right. It's their own little mini golf course right there on the property. It's really close by Schlitterbahn. You know, all this good stuff to recommend it, but not after that. Okay. So we already talked about the man jumping off of the ship, Rhapsody of the Seas, to avoid the fine. I'm going to leave this big story for last, and that's the Carnival rewards, or the VIFP changes. And just September 15th, so that was yesterday, they came back. They came back. Carnival months and months ago, I guess in May, end of May, released the information that they were revamping the whole VIFP, very important fun person program. And they just let us know straight up front that they can't handle it. There are too many people who have reached that status. I don't know. Too many people are at platinum and diamond, so they can't even give the perks that they need to. At one point, they were saying that they had so many people on a cruise who were already at that platinum and diamond level, and you're supposed to get priority. So that nobody got priority. You know, they did not anticipate the overwhelming amount of people who would make status. And so they laid it out. That's the story. And so they have to do something. That's the story. All right. So they have given us a year in advance to get ready, because it goes into effect, this new program that's now a lot less about your loyalty and more about your spending. If you spend a lot of money, we'll give you stuff. Anyway, that will be, that's the new program that will unfold in June 1st of 2026. And when they unveiled it, people came unglued. Loyal Carnival members were thoroughly upset about it. They felt like, you know, you don't even care about us. Your most loyal constituents here, the people who spend the money, who continue to come back to you when you're going to do this, because in essence, you had to like start over. So if you work your way up to diamond status, the top tier, You know, how many cruises have you been on? How much money have you spent with Carnival? You know, a lot, a lot. So to then tell you, okay, well, let's start over. And if you spin really well, then, you know, you can get there. No, and I'm oversimplifying it, but it just went too far. So September 15th, just yesterday, according to the time of this video, Carnival has come out and said, listen, we heard you. We heard you. We're listening. We're listening to you, and here's where we can meet you in the middle. So we're going to talk about that. And some people are still saying that's nowhere near what you should do for us. I don't know. What do you say? Chime in below. Tell me your thoughts. Would you cruise? Some people said they don't cruise Carnival anyway, so phooey. Other people said I'll never cruise them again. Some people said I am loyal to them. Carnival delivers what it is I'm looking for, so whatever, I'm with them. Other people are like, yeah, what's your take on it? Tell me. Okay. We're going to save that story. I want to tell you about this other story. I'm really kind of tired of talking about fights on cruise ships, but it keeps happening. So I report the cruise news, so I'm going to tell you about it. This is on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and here is the craziness. This is why I said wild and crazy. Embarkation day is one of the most exciting times for cruisers. It's exciting, but it can also be quite challenging, exhilarating. It's a lot, right? But your emotions are high, and you're excited, and you're checking out your cruise for the first time and figuring out new venues. But the one thing that you shouldn't be doing is getting into it with somebody so bad that the cruise ship has to turn around on embarkation day and go back to the port. This is what happened. Let's check it out together. All right. The headlines say, I'm going to read this out. Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas returns to port after fight and injuries. So this fight broke out on embarkation day, just a few hours after the ship left port. And it was so bad that they received injuries that they had to go back to port so they could be cared for and hopefully arrested. I'm tired of you. Stop with all this fighting. Some people get too close and say silly things and are drunk and try to flirt and all this other stuff, but you don't have to beat the stew out of them. You don't have to smack them around. Just, ooh. There's so many things that all of us can be. Be nice or be gone, like leave, get away from them, you know. There's this one guy on the cruise that I went on just the other day. I wish it was just the other day. Oh, how I miss it. But he says to me, with his wife next to him, he was sitting here and his wife was sitting next to him, and he says, oh, why don't we go together? We can all get drunk and have a great time. That might be an innocent thing. He might just, you know, been a fun-loving guy and was having drinks and thought I was a fun-loving gal, and it might have been so innocent, but I was like, no. No is my answer. My answer is no. Anyway, let's talk about this fight with injuries. Oh, this is crazy. All right. The very first day of the cruise turned ugly aboard Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas. Now, you know this is one of those big mega ships. Wonder of the Seas is a huge ship, so there's thousands and thousands of people aboard. Here's what happened. On Monday, September 15th, so just yesterday, according to the time that I'm making this video, an altercation aboard resulted in injuries severe enough to warrant a medical debarkation. And Wonder of the Seas returned to Port Miami to ensure the guests got appropriate care. Now, I watched La Lita Loca, and Tony, you know, he's so huge, the person who does that show, that an eyewitness who was on the ship wrote into him to give him the update. They update, and they, you know, it's nothing but hearsay. I don't know this to be true, but it was supposedly two younger people beating up on an older person, and then another person came in to beat up on the younger people who were beating up on the older person. I don't know. Let's read what it says. The next thing it says here is few details are confirmed about the incident at this time. According to Local 10 News, witnesses aboard noted unusual activity happening around the pool area, including the children's pool and Splashaway Bay area on deck 15. I really hope that this didn't happen close to the kids' area. and kids had to see their parents, their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their aunties being wild, crazy, and please, I hope it wasn't that. Royal Caribbean has confirmed the incident in a statement provided to us. Here's what it says. Our team provided medical care to adult guests who were involved in an altercation on board, and the guests are being treated for their injuries. We notified local authorities and are working closely with them. So they just said, yeah, it happened, and we got them off the ship. The identity of the guests involved have not been released. They say here this is a standard practice. Local reports confirm that both individuals, so both sounds like two to me, were taken to Jackson Memorial Hospital for treatment. The hospital is just 4 miles from the cruise terminal. So, let's see. They're saying here that it's going to be a full investigation, yada, yada, yada. They're not giving us a whole lot of information. But here's what we do know. The ship Wonder of the Seas, where this happened, it was on a 4-night Bahamas sailing, and there has been no changes to the itinerary. So after they had to go back and drop off these people, they were able to go ahead and continue on the cruise with no more interruption to the itinerary thus far. So here's my thoughts. I'd love to know yours. When they are short cruises, 4 days, 5 days, but 4 days, 3 days, things like that, a lot of times people are there for the party. It's like an extra long weekend, and we're going to get drunk. We're going to just cut loose. We're going to just let go. A lot of times it seems like this is a hotbed for people becoming like violent. You know, I don't know. I'm not saying that fights only happen on short cruises, because that's not true either. They happen on all cruises. The first fight in 21 years of cruising, I've never seen a fight until just last year, and that was on an MSC cruise. So they happen on all cruises, all people, all ages, you know, for all reasons. But when they're on these shorter cruises, it just seems like the party atmosphere is on, lit. People let down their inhibitions maybe too much. They're kind of, you know, full of liquid courage, and then they just decide, I don't know. Of course, I don't have the answer. And, you know, you can't stop people. People are what is on a cruise. One thing we know, there are bunches and bunches of people on cruises. So, yeah, there we go. We as long as there's people together like that, people have differences of opinion, different ideas, different standards, but we don't have to wail on each other. I don't know. Here's my other thought. If I was one of the people on Wonder of the Seas who was not involved in this fight, like I wasn't involved in it, my family and friends weren't involved in it, and then I get the doosh doo doo, you know, that's supposed to be the sound of the overhead, you know, coming on to make an announcement, that guess what, we're going back to port. I would have been a mad mother chucker. I would have been mad. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're an hour or so out, and you're telling me we got to turn back around to drop off some jokers who don't know how to behave well in the sandbox. What about you? I know, is that a super selfish thought? Like, oh, you're spoiling my fun by your fighting, and now you're hurt. I don't know. It might be very insensitive. I'm just being honest, right? I'm telling you the truth. I would not have been pleased with those people. That would have, yeah. So that is the story there from Wonder of the Seas. Oh, this is crazy, crazy. Have you ever seen a fight on a cruise ship? Have you ever fought on a cruise ship? When I saw that fight on MSC, the person was right in front of me, and I was like, whoa, because, you know, fists were swinging. And unfortunately, this was a younger guy. This guy looked like he looked so European. He reminded me of like Dolph Lundgren when he was in Rocky, and he's like, I'm going to break you. You like my accent? So he was tall and muscular and like chiseled features. I wish my features, yeah. And he had an accent. And the other person involved in this altercation was like a 70-year-old man. Come on. I don't know what happened because we were leaving the venue where they had the nightly shows, the big production show, and we were all leaving. So, you know, it's kind of crowded. Everybody's walking up out of the stairs, walking. I'm just walking, I'm smiling, and I'm happy. It's a great night. And I hear somebody say, I'm gonna call the cop. They didn't say the cops. I'm gonna tell on you, something like that. And then fists started flying. It was all this noise, boom, 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 stuff falling, people yelling, and the guy was right in front of me. So I moved back and I was shocked. I was stunned because, you know, I sit and hear about fights on cruise ships, but I've never seen one. I've been cruising for 21 years, 24 years. So it was not nice. It was not good. They immediately came in, broke it up. The cruise director came. They like called on this older guy. I'm sorry, the younger guy. And I felt really bad for the older gentleman. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what either one of them did or said, but yeah, I didn't like seeing that. Let's try to be nice to one another. I would love somebody to write in the comments, what's the solution to all this? But be nice. Okay. I have another cruise news story for you before I tell you about the cruise I was just on and what happened to me. We're talking about Carnival's VIFP loyalty. Okay. Do you have loyalty status on Carnival? What is it? How long did it take you to get there? Let me know. I have loyalty status on Carnival, and me and my fellow cruisers have made a decision to take another cruise before the change, just to bump up to the next one. Let's see how that works. Here it is today, or the 15th. Carnival Cruise Line has responded to backlash, changing its new Carnival Rewards loyalty program for all current Diamond and Platinum guests, and all guests who reach Diamond and Platinum level prior to this new launch, June 1st. Let me lay it out on the line before I read a little more. They have said, listen, we gave you a year, so get it in gear and get to the status level that you want because it's changing June 1st. That's not what they said, but that's how I read it. You have until May 31st of 2026 to get to this status. And the two statuses that are, I guess, most in contention are Diamond and Platinum. Let me say it better. Platinum first and then Diamond next. Diamond being the pinnacle. If you reach these two statuses, they've really thrown a bone. Here it is. Platinum level, they say if you reach that status before June 1st, they'll let you be grandfathered into that same level for 2 years. So up until 2028, because next year's 2026, you can keep your status. And they're going to throw in 10,000 stars because now it's going to be the stars that you get, right? Kind of like points for the money that you spend to help you maintain at least gold level status, which is one level below. But of course, if you go on cruises and spend, it should be easier for you to maintain platinum. Okay. Now for the diamond level people, they said, Diamond, we heard you. You are our most loyal constituents. We've heard you, and we've decided to do the right thing. As long as you're a diamond or you attain diamond status by May 31st, 2026, you will have that status for life. They're not going to mess with you. You'll continue to be a diamond and you'll have that status for life. Everybody else, too bad. Not quite, but you know, those were the two biggest things that came from that. Now, they also talked about kids and their status and levels attaining the same status as their parents, but the biggest two were those. John Heald has a video. Go check it out on his page. It's like a 3-minute long video. And one thing that's in the video is kind of sad. People are angry. They're still saying it's not enough. It's not even close to being enough. And they're letting loose. They're letting loose. You know, sitting at home on your computer or on your phone, you're calling people dirty names, you're threatening, you're saying ugly stuff. And as he's sitting there doing this video, he's getting hate just thrown at him, you know, online. And somebody says something so ugly that John Hill, you can see he's visibly like shaken, and he loses his train of thought. He's like, oh yeah. And he calls out the guy's name. I don't know the guy's name. Guy, you know, since you're going to say stuff like that, I don't think we want you on our ships. No, we don't. We don't want you sailing with us. I mean, people are throwing barbs at him, and I guarantee you, John Hill is not the one who made the decision. He's the spokesman. He's the one who just gets to tell us about those decisions. But it's tough. When people are upset and angry and don't like it, they let you know. What do you think? Is this enough? Have they listened? To their credit, Carnival said, now it doesn't have to be true, but let's just take it at face value. They said they cannot meet the demand as it is. The VIFP club cannot stay the way it is, because you would really be mad, because you're not going to get your perks. There's too many people at those levels that they're not able to do it. They're not able to do it. Okay. So they've said, what's up? All right, so we want to fix it. We want to do something. We want to continue to give loyalty. So here's the best that we think we can do. What do you think? Is it good enough? Is it the best? What do you think? Let me read a little bit of what Carnival said in their statement. We are so excited about our new Carnival Rewards loyalty program launching next year. Now, I know to some that was like a slap in the face, because Carnival is saying they're so excited about it, and a lot of people are not. But let's keep reading. And we believe it will drive fantastic engagement with and rewards for our guests. At the same time, we greatly appreciate the loyalty of our passionate guests and the years of dedication many have exhibited in order to achieve higher tiered loyalty status with Carnival Cruise Lines. We spent the summer talking with our guests, listening to their comments and taking in their feedback. So they're telling you they've heard us, right? As a result, I am happy to share that we are making changes to improve the offering to our most loyal customers as we get ready for the program's launch in 2026. All right. Let's see. I'm just looking at, because as I said, really this was more of a bonus for diamond status and then a little bit for platinum. But what about red, gold, and blue? One commenter said, those who spent many thousands of dollars to earn gold status through extended cruises and suite bookings threatened to leave Carnival altogether if their loyalty wasn't valued. I mean, I get it. I get it. People dog out Carnival and talk about, I mean, they've said some ugly stuff even on my videos of what they feel Carnival is, whatever. Let me tell you what Carnival is. Carnival is the largest cruising company. Carnival Cruise Line or Carnival Corporation owns the most. They're the biggest. So somebody likes it and somebody keeps going. If you hate it, you think it's disgusting, low budget, you get to think that. But people are traveling on Carnival day by day by day by day, okay? And you spend money, the same money that you would spend on a luxury brand, it's the same cash that you spend on Carnival. You gotta, these aren't free cruises. And even if you get a free cruise, like you go to the casino and you spend you're spending money, crisp dollar bills, y'all, to get on these cruise ships. And people are feeling like, what, my money, my loyalty is not deserved. What are you saying? And I understand why some people want to go. They're not feeling the love. What do you say? And let me also tell you, as a travel advisor, it's not that Carnival is the least expensive cruise brand out there. They are not. I'm gonna leave it there. There are people, it says here in this cruise article, petitions were organized and sent into Carnival. People really were completely upset about this. Here is what it says. Guests who achieve diamond status in the current VIFP club by May 31st, 2026, not only receive diamond status through May 31st of 2032, which is what they initially said, that they were going to continue just for a certain amount of time. They also now receive lifetime diamond status. Okay, it's good. It's good. Guess who achieved platinum status in the current VIFP club by May 31st of 2026? Not only have their status extended through May 31st of 2028, which is what they initially said. If you were platinum by then, we'll give you 2 more years. But also now they will receive a biennial boost of 10,000 Carnival Reward status qualifying stars. And we don't have all the details how these stars are going to be given and what, but you're going to get 10,000 every 2 years. Let's see. This gives Platinum VIFP members a 20% head start to earning platinum status. Oh, so if you're already platinum and you hear that you're going to get a 20% boost to earn platinum, that's got to be, that's got to be like a kick in the pants. I don't know if I've said it yet, but please do smash that like button. Give us a like. Give me some comments. Help to boost this video up so more people can come in and have this talk with us. I love having more. So make sure you give it a like. Give it a like. Yeah, I left off on if you are platinum, they're saying not only will you get 2 years, we'll give you till 2032. No, let me go back. Yeah, we'll give you the 2 years, plus we'll give you 10,000 stars biannually, every 2 years. And that'll help you get closer to this status because you have to spend money. That's the bottom line. The more money you spend, and it does include your cruise fare, the more stars you get to bring you up to this ladder, the step of whatever the VIFP status will be now. It says Carnival is actively exploring options for guests in Canada and Australia. So they're working on something separate but different there. I don't know. Maybe the same. What do you think? What do you think? I believe that people who are diamond were like, oh, okay. But maybe they still feel, as the kids say, some kind of way about it. Because you were going to change it. And I had to yell and fuss at you to make you understand you don't mess with your most loyal. What do you say? Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Most people are saying it's not enough. It's like a little too little too late. Yeah. I am, like I said, we are working, me and my cruise buddies and travel partners, we are working to go ahead and meet that next status because, you know, we have worked hard to do it. Now, we haven't just traveled Carnival. We've been on Carnival and Norwegian and Princess and MSC. So we haven't maybe accumulated the status that we could have if we would have just stayed on Carnival for all these years, but we've spent money and we've done, I think, more Carnival than any other cruise line. So we're going to go ahead and get on another cruise before May 31st and get that next status. But that means we're going to have to maneuver some things. What about you? That means we're going to go on this. I think we're going to, you know, as a travel advisor, I'm setting up the best thing that would work for our schedule and our time within this, but that might mean others are doing the same thing, kind of scrambling to get there because they don't want to lose their status. I don't know. When I first heard about this, you know, I'm a travel advisor, so we had to get some training in this and kind of the wording to help our customers with this and kind of measures to help tell our clients if you're gonna continue to travel with Carnival, so, you know, make up your mind. And it's easy to say, I'll never travel with them again, but maybe you might. So if there's any possibility that you will travel on Carnival, try to get to that next status level before this is over. That's kind of like the best thing that I can say. We all know if we've been cruising for any length of time, and even if you're a new cruiser and you watch cruise news or you watch other people on YouTube who talk about cruises, cruising has changed so drastically. since the pandemic, and a lot of things went away. But the prices didn't. Let me change this. Sorry, let me change this here. A lot of things went away that we really enjoyed, and the prices didn't necessarily go down. There are perks that we miss that are just gone. Here's one of the big ones. There used to be twice a day that your room stewards would come in and turn over your room. Well, most cruise lines now, they're just down to one. There are still some that do too. There was the, when you go into the dining room and you sat down, the waiter would put the napkin, pull the chair out for you and put the napkin in your lap. I don't know if that's just for ladies, gentlemen, if they did that or not, but they don't do it now. Many, many things have changed, and a lot of things we can say there's less, but it hasn't gotten to the point that we've decided not to cruise. We just understand change happens. Things change. Now, something that is exciting that came out of the changes for COVID were the change to the muster drill. That was a horrible practice. Oh gosh. I can still remember, like, one time I thought I was going to pass out. It was so hot. Standing there with the life jackets on in this area, and it seems like you stood so long, and it was miserable. Now that process is so quick. Check out my embarkation video for the Carnival Jubilee. I just put that out yesterday, I think it was. And please do check out the whole series. I don't have it all up yet. I'm going to be putting the rest of it out, but check it out. That muster drill was like that. So there are things that have gotten better. We do use our phones now, the app, a lot more to check in for dining reservations and things of that nature. You might love it, you might hate it, but it does move things along. The disembarkation process was super speedy. Things have changed. Some have gotten better. We might think some have gotten worse, but we still love cruising, right? You still love cruising? Have you cruised before? Right? How many cruises have you done? Drop it down there. How many? What number are you on? I was sad to say, I thought I had cruised more than I had, but I'm only on 14. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to try to do 2 to 3 a year instead. That is my goal, and it's going to happen. We did 2 last year. I'd like to do more. My mom asks me all the time, how many cruises could you do a year? A lot. 12. Once a month. You know. When is your next cruise? What is your favorite cruise line and why? What is it about that cruise line that does it for you? Yeah. And I have my notes here. Who do you want to try? So I've asked, when is your next cruise? Let me know. I'm interested. What is your favorite cruise line and why? But who would you like to try? Once again, MSC is coming to Texas. They're bringing the MSC Seascape, which I have been on already, but they're bringing it here to port out of Texas. And I have been asked as a MSC expert to be one of the travel agents who go on that ship. We're going to have like a training day before they let the general public on, that we're going to be able to go on, see everything, take good videos, so that we can have something to go back and tell our fans. I said fans. Tell all the people who we're going to book cruises for, not our fans. I might need a Dr. Pepper boost. Where am I thinking my fans? Hello, everyone. Let me get it together. So I am very excited about that, because it's going to be a small group of travel agents who will be able to spend one night aboard and go through and give some great details, get some training about MSC. Believe it or not, interestingly enough, we've never tried Royal Caribbean. And it's not because Royal Caribbean costs more or anything. Princess costs more. We've been on Princess, we've been on Norwegian, but it's been so interesting. When we first started cruising, it was all about the itinerary. You know, we didn't know about the ships and all that. It was all about, oh, I want to go here. So we would only pick, you know, itineraries that we really liked. And for whatever reason, we would be about to go on a Royal Caribbean, but then a Norwegian would be going right where we wanted to go. Or, okay, we're going to try Royal now. And then this Princess one was going right where we wanted to go. So we've never been on a Royal Caribbean. So I'm very much looking forward to going on their ships. And not just the world's largest, although I would like to see how that is. But some of their smaller and older ships, because you do get something different on both. All right. I've been doing a lot of talking. How are you guys doing tonight? How is your September going already? Cannot believe it's already September 5th. Well, it's now the 16th. It's like I go into the stores and I see Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Happy New Year. It's going by so fast. How are you doing? I hope that each and every one of you are doing well, that some of the things that you have been hoping to get done in 2025, you are able to get done, and we still have time. Be easy on yourself. Let me tell you what happened to me at Shebang aboard the Carnival Jubilee. All right. If you don't know, on the new ships, on the Carnival XL ships, if you have never been to their specialty restaurants, the two of them, Shebang, which is a fusion of Chinese and Mexican, or Cucina del Capitano, which is their Italian restaurant, they allow you to go for free. You don't have to pay the price for the specialty restaurant. You could go for free. But you have to check in, and there are certain time frames, but you can go for free. So we said, all right, let's go to Shebang this evening. We went to Shebang, and I didn't love it. And my companions didn't love it. And I was very disappointed because two of my most favorite types of food are Chinese or Asian and Mexican. I mean, yes, please. And I don't know what it was. I didn't like it. I didn't like it really at all. I was really disappointed. And my companion sitting next to me, my sister, was extremely disappointed as well. And one of the things she ordered was a bowl of beans. She took one taste of the beans and she was like, she set the plate to the side. All right, so it's almost the end of the meal and the waiter comes over and he's like, are you finished with these? Yeah. And he picks up our plates. And so we're yapping and talking. And I'm sitting with my sister next to me with our back to where the waiters are. And my mother is sitting across in a booth. And we hear this loud noise, bling, 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 bling. And you can tell that somebody somewhere has dropped the dishes, broken plates or something. It's loud. You know that sound. And everybody goes, whoo, and they look. Well, I was just about to look to see what happened when I felt hot, burning beans on my back. Yes, because the waiter had the plate, the bowl of beans, and I guess he had dropped it, and the beans flew, slapped me right in the back. They slapped my sister on the back. They got me on the back. They spread across our table, the table next to us. It just went like everywhere, and they were hot. So I said, I gasped like this, and everybody around me looked. Oh, because I've just been burned by hot beans. All right, I'm gonna stop right here. What would you do? I want to know, what would you do? What would you have done? What would you do? Let me tell you what I did. Yes, I was startled, and it did startle me. And yes, the beans were hot, but they didn't burn me like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the infirmary or the doctor. I think it wasn't that hot. It wasn't. It was hot. It was beans, but it wasn't that hot. I wasn't burnt like that. I didn't feel like I needed to be getting medical attention or anything. It was just shocking. The waiter, oh my gosh. And I saw him later in the cruise too, and he apologized. If I'm exaggerating, 100 times. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. He apologized, and he left and came back and apologized, and he left and came back. The waiters all came around. Are you okay? Is everything okay? They're cleaning up. The maitre d' came. The manager came. They were all like trying to get this figured out, making sure I wasn't about to have a fit, start screaming, talk about suing. You better do this. They were like, ma'am, are you okay? Ma'am, ma'am, are you okay? And the guy's constantly apologizing. I'm okay. And it was crazy. So the supervisor came over and he's like, I'm so sorry. We would like to invite you back tomorrow to have dinner here. Well, remember, I told you I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't want to come back and have dinner there. Now, a lot of times you should, right? You should go back and give it another chance. I didn't want to. I said, oh, okay. He's like, we'll give you a bottle of champagne. No, thanks. I'm not that big of a drinker. And no, thanks. So then he said the right thing. He said, well, I'll get your clothes laundered. Well, yes, please do, because it was all over my back and it was on my sister. So it was on our dresses, our outfits, and it was like reddish. So I didn't want it. I thought, yeah, it could stain. It might stain. So he's like, okay, I'll be back. And he gave all three of us a free bag of laundry. And the way it is, it's like, just think of a big brown paper bag. As much as you can stuff in there, they'll launder for you. So that was good. You know, that was way more than just the dress that I had on. So they gave us free laundry. They apologized over and over. They booked us to come back to the specialty restaurant for free again, which we did not go back. And then they sent me a letter, which I still have, apologizing and have we taken care of this for you? Did it meet your satisfaction? Are you okay? They called me 4 times, I think, on different days. Ma'am, did you get your laundry? Let us know when you get it. Is it to your satisfaction? Is everything clean? Are there any stains? Are you okay with this? So, you know, they were really, I'm sure they were covering their own butts, but they really did take care of me after that. But I just thought, oh, what are the odds? What are the odds? What would you have done? Now, you know, after you get off a cruise ship, they send you out the survey. And on the survey, I'm going to say everything straight up. I didn't like the food. My sister's beans were cold. Now, let me qualify that. Her first bowl of beans, her food was like cold. So he brought her out new food. And she was like, oh, I don't want it anyway. We didn't like the food. It just, I don't know. Do you like Chibang? Have you ever been to Chibang? We had gotten word from other people on the cruise that it was so good. I'm sorry. Now, Cucina del Capitano was good. We enjoyed that thoroughly. Chibang, I probably won't ever go back again. Later on in the cruise, that same waiter, we went to, what do they call it? Tea. And it was at the Atlantic dining room. And so they're bringing around your little pastries and your finger sandwiches. And the waiter comes up to us, and I have to just admit, I didn't recognize him. I didn't. And he smiles really big, and he almost starts to chuckle. And I was like, okay. He says, do you remember me? And I'm like, and I'm looking at his name tag like, and he says, Chibang. And we both just bust out laughing. He's laughing. And he said it again. I'm so sorry. I'm like, it was an accident. It was an accident. You know, it was an accident. I didn't make a fuss. I didn't ask for additional compensation. I didn't yell and scream. I didn't just get up and walk out. I was like, it's okay. I even laughed about it later because it had to look funny. The neighbors to the right said it happened in slow motion. They heard the sound and then they saw beans flying through the air in slow motion. Flat. I don't know. I guess you had to be there. But what do you think about Chibang? I'm a no. Even if that hadn't happened to me, I didn't like it. I don't know. I was very disappointed with Chibang. But I did get some free laundry. I got some free laundry. I came back with more clothes clean than dirty. So that's a first on any cruise. That's a first. That was exciting. Tell me your story. Do you have any funny, startling, shocking stories about your time on a cruise or at a specialty restaurant, seeing a fight or an incident? Or what about something super sweet, super nice? Anything like that that you've seen on a cruise? I've got one more thing to share with you before I let you go this evening. We were in the Lido, getting ready to have breakfast, standing in line for omelets. And just a peaceful, quiet morning aboard a cruise ship getting omelets. And then all of a sudden we hear this incredibly loud sound. It was like boom. And then right after that sound, you hear the shattering of glass. My sound effects, I'm sure, are not the best, but shattering of glass. And then you hear glass falling to the ground. So all that, boom, ping, ping, ping. Okay. but super loud. All of us jumped. Whoa, what's going on? And this lady has been sitting at a table, and above the tables, the light fixtures, they hang down, and it's like a square glass beveled light fixture. And it sits in the middle of the table. So like it's above you, let me see, like right about here. So, you know, you wouldn't be in the middle of the table because you would sit out here. But for some reason, this lady, and she was tall, I would say that she was probably 6 foot tall. Older lady, and then she had on a captain's hat, and I saw those in the shop. So she had went and bought a little captain's hat. She's very tall, older lady, and I think she had a mobility cane or walker. And what she had done was put her hands on the table and bent in like this to boost herself up. You know, some people, they have to rock to get up, and so she had gone in like this and hit her head on that light fixture, that lamp. And she had stood up so quickly to do it that when she hit it, it just shattered and broke all over the place. Everybody was like, whoa! And she was so embarrassed. She was so embarrassed. She finally said, yes, everybody, it was me. Yes, and I'm okay. She was so embarrassed. It was so loud. So many staff members ran over there to her. There was glass everywhere. I was like, there's glass on your back. And she was just so embarrassed. All she wanted to do was get out of there. She didn't like check herself to see if she was cut or bleeding. She just, as soon as she could, got out of there. And I was thinking, she could be hurt or I don't know. So many people there was so much conversation about that afterwards. Why is it that kind of light fixture? Oh my gosh, what happened? They had to shut down that area, of course, to clean the glass, and I'm sure remove the light fixture, because when I came back to that area another time, the whole, even the, I don't know what you call it, the thing that hung down for the light was gone. It was completely gone. That was crazy. That was crazy. The lady behind us said, oh my gosh, my heart is racing so bad now. Oh, I need coffee. It was loud. It was loud. Those are some of the crazy highlights from our cruise, but I will be sure to post the video so you can see some of the really cool highlights of the cruise, the good things. I enjoyed my time on the Jubilee. I think the ship, forgive me, is beautiful, you know, and I never felt like I was packed in with 7,500 people. They kept telling us that there were over 7,000 people, you know, plus the crew, like 5,800 of us maybe, or 6,000 of us plus 1,800 crew, something wild. I never felt like it was that stuffed. The only time where I felt so stuffed in and so hot was actually on embarkation. It was not pretty. I don't know what was going on. It was hot. I had to have one of my portable fans that I carry with me now, or else I was sweating profusely. It was a hot mess. Now there, I felt like there was about 7,000 people standing there. But once I got on the ship, I never felt like it was like packed in, crowded. It was a beautiful ship. We met some really cool people. I had a really great time, and I'm very excited to share them with you. So please watch, like, subscribe, give me some comments. Tell me about your own experience aboard the Jubilee, if you've been aboard, or if you would like me to price it out for you, shoot me a DM. My information is always there in the description under the videos. That's it for me tonight. What else you got? Anything you want to ask me? If you have any Q&A, drop it down in the comments. I will make sure to answer them. I think I'm going to go and drink some Dr. Pepper and have the last of my, I ordered Jason's Deli right before the show started, and my delivery driver obviously got lost. So I was like, I don't know why I did that because I don't have a watch on, but I was like, I was eating really fast before I sat down here. I didn't want to have crumbs all over my mouth. So I'm going to go back to my Jason's Deli now. Thank you so much, and I really do mean that, for coming tonight and sharing some time with me. I'll be back next Tuesday. I'm going to try to make sure that I am on schedule. Tuesday Night Live. Meet me. Tuesday Night Live. Really appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful night. Good night, everybody. Good night. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's about it. All right, good night, good night, good night. I'm going to shut this off in just a little bit here, okay? Here we go.